What type of rapper is Prof?
Honest one. He tries to be honest one. Most rappers probably aren't, right?
Wow, man.
But he tries to be. Do you get what I'm saying? Because he tries, especially rappers when they come on the whole thing of like, oh, like I'm not a role model. Don't listen to me. It's kind of like because so I can swear.
Express yourself.
Yeah, I think it's a bit responsible because like you have whether you want to be or not, you have responsibility now. You are a voice, innit? Whether you want to be or not, that's what you are. I don't have a feature fee. Like you can't pay me for a feature basically. Like that doesn't exist. So if I don't respect the song or think it's good, I'm not gonna do it regardless of how much money you throw at me. Do you get what I'm saying? It's just about longevity. I think it could cost you popularity in the short term. I don't think it'll cost you popularity in the long term. And I think most people, they don't think long term in it. When you have your own sound and you build that, regardless of how long it takes and the ups and downs or whatever, if you're independent or not, when you get there now, that's there.
Strong.
It's strong. You can't be wavered in it. And that's your sound, regardless of what's happening with the trends and blah, blah, blah. That's you. You're there. That's rock solid.
SK Vibemaker.
SK Vibemaker. My interviews are hotter. You know we bring through the best special guests. We are not changing tradition anytime soon. We got South London in the building today. Prof is here, man.
Oh, go on, man.
What's happening? I mean, you're really starting to make some noise.
Yeah, man. It's moving, but you know, it's hard work. But I try not to like pay too much attention to that. I just go. You feel me?
I mean, from the beginning, man, let's talk about your musical journey thus far, from writing those raps and producing in your bedroom to now like being outside, getting recognition and releasing music. How would you talk about that journey?
Yeah, like so obviously I started making music when I was like 16. I taught myself how to produce at 15. Started like trying to. So I came through like just producing first because I was like my way into like studios because that man knew me just for producing, innit? And then obviously I was like, cool, I want to like take the artist stuff seriously. So then about around like 17, 18, I took it seriously. I'm 20 now. So yeah, I feel like most people that will look at me and be like, right, like it's very, very new, innit? But for me, it feels a lot longer, like a journey. Do you get what I'm saying? Because I've just been like working on it for what feels like a big portion of my life. Do you know what I'm saying?
I feel like what's important to put on record from the beginning, anyone who hears your music knows that you're a wordsmith, you're a rapper.
Thank you.
But you produce the majority of your own material as well.
Yeah.
And you just kind of said that you started producing before rapping, right?
Yeah.
So like, I mean, how did you go from producing at first and deciding that you was going to be an artist and a rapper first? Because, you know, a lot of people start as producers and don't even get into rapping.
No, so basically so the plan was to always make my own music. But so I was like looking for beats on like YouTube and that. And I was like, this is a bit pants, innit? So like, I was like, I need more control in it because I'm like a mad control freak. So I was like, I need to just teach myself. So I just did that, innit? And then I was like, cool, I need to get better at this now. So I can like actually make what's in my head actually come out, right? So then obviously I was working more on producing. I kind of put the writing to a side, was going to sessions and, you know what I'm saying? Then when I felt like I was at a point where I was somewhat ready, then I brought it back in basically, do you get me? And kind of went from there.
How do you find that balance though, producing and rapping to such a high level though? Because, you know, as a producer, you can just concentrate on the production. As a rapper, you could just concentrate on the rapping and maybe not the production as much. Yeah. But how do you juggle both of those? How much of a challenge is it?
It has its good points and bad points, isn't it? Like, but I feel like the good points is that like I have all the control. So like I know what sounds good for me. I know what doesn't. I know what works, what doesn't. And it makes the creative process a lot more like free, innit? Because I can just go anywhere I want. But obviously the cons is that sometimes it's all coming from me, innit? So like sometimes it can be a bit daunting. Do you get what I'm saying? Where sometimes it's like, oh, like, it's just a bit long, innit? But like you just have to fall back in love again, innit? Which I have to do that sometimes. But it's always good, innit, when I can get like some new inspiration production wise, and then I can just go down a whole nother rabbit hole. You know what I'm saying?
People love a comparison. Let's not get it twisted.
Okay.
And someone who produces and raps to a high ability, people are going to maybe make comparisons to Kanye West or J. Cole. Are you saying that you're the UK's version or the UK's answer to Kanye or J. Cole? How do you feel about those comparisons?
I mean, they're both, you know, great artists. So yeah, I mean, I'll take that in it. To be honest, I'll take that.
No pressure.
No pressure, man. No pressure. But I mean, I you know, I put bare pressure on myself, innit? Like I'm very serious, probably too serious about all of this stuff. But but I love it at the same time, innit? So like all of those comparisons, like, throw them at me, and I'll take it on the chest, innit?
Well, let's talk about it, man. Prof.
Yeah.
I mean, like maybe Prophet. A lot of people would have,
used to be still.
You know what I'm saying? You used to be called Prophet.
Yeah.
Okay, so break down the story of the name for those that don't know.
So that came from my granddad when I was born. So this is all stories I've heard, and obviously I was a newborn in it. Apparently he held like, them old Jamaican man who was just very like, right. So he just held me up to the sky and was like, the Prophet Jeremiah. So obviously Jeremiah, my middle name. So I just went with that and shortened it down to Prof, just because it's a bit easier. Also a bit less political as well, like connotation wise and such. I don't want to. For real. You know what I'm saying? Get no one's bad books or nothing.
Alright, we like to focus on lyrics, man. Yeah. I don't know if you feel like you was gonna come here today and we was gonna talk about a load of fluffy stuff.
No, I'm happy. I'm happy we're not.
No disrespect to you if you like to talk about games and stuff that's like we like to really get down to it.
Of course.
So we're gonna concentrate on some lyrics, man. You got a lyric where you say, "Centering myself in lyrics, the consequences are real." You identify as a Christian as well. I mean, how much of a challenge is it for you to keep it raw, like maybe get a bit explicit in your lyrics, knowing that you identify as a Christian and your music is far from gospel?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I just try to be as honest as possible in it, and if that means like singling out my flaws or things that I see or things that I've learned, things that I feel, regardless of where it's like positive or negative, whatever, like it's just the truth and it's honest. And everyone, whatever religion you are, if you're not religious or you are religious, whatever, like everyone is human at the end of the day. And I feel like it would be a better, especially in music, knowing that like you have especially with this song, innit? Like this song specifically, The Calm, right? That was like the first time I really got like, I really figured out the power in music, innit? Because I got like so many like messages, like long messages talking about how the songs help people. Like, and that was the first time it really hit me. I was like, raw, like I'm not even anywhere close to where I think or know I'm going to be, but it has this much power in it. And I feel like, especially rappers, when they come on the whole thing of like, oh, like I'm not a role model, don't listen to me. It's kind of like, because so I can swear.
Express yourself.
Yeah, it's I think it's a bit responsible because that you have whether you want to be or not, you have responsibility now. You are a voice, innit? Whether you want to be or not, that's what you are. So I feel like what I feel like is the best thing to do then is, rather than me preaching something that I preaching something, I'm just gonna be honest, because I make mistakes. Everyone makes mistakes, or you know what I'm saying. So I just try my best, innit?
It's interesting because not a lot of rappers or artists take responsibility for being a role model, and you're saying that you do. So how much responsibility do you take for the actions of people who listen to your music and maybe are inspired both positively and negatively by your music?
You're never gonna realize that how much influence you have until you start getting these the feedback and stuff and that, right? And I feel like I just say how I feel and try to be as just honest as possible. So the whole thing that I'm trying to push really is just honesty, because I feel like when it's just honesty, it's easier now to not go too far left or too far right. Do you understand what I'm saying? As in, like, it's more of a, because especially music, it's easy to have things in black or white, right? Like, don't do this or don't do that or whatever. And that's when you will get things that are extreme from the people who are listening. Do you understand? Because because especially with stuff like rap, like, people get obsessed. Like, everyone in this room could probably say they've been obsessed with an artist at one point in their life, right? Where they take on their mantras, you get me? They start talking like them. They want to be them, innit? And I understand that happens, innit? I'll be responsible if I didn't. So when you're either this or that, it can go there or there, and you have no control on it. So I guess, obviously I'm still learning, but right now the best way for me to move forward in my head is like, just have an open book. So like, when you want to, if you want to be like me, you just want to be honest. Do you get it? And that's just going to help you figure things out on your own journey, innit? If that makes sense, innit?
Was there an artist that you were obsessed by?
I don't know about obsessed. Sounds a bit crazy, but I've definitely had artists that have influenced me like heavily, musically, and I guess also outside music, how to like carry yourself. Because like, hip hop is more than music, innit? It's like a culture, and you get me. So
name some of them artists, man. Put them on record.
Yeah. I mean, someone like Kendrick, I look up to a lot, musically. People like Nipsey Hussle as well. Lauryn Hill. Yeah, just to name a few, innit?
Straight up, man. Deeper artists, though.
Yeah, man.
Love that.
Music is it's not something to be played with, man. You know what I'm saying?
It's early in your career, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? People are definitely starting to get to know you. You're making noise. You're making an impact. But you've only released one project. Yeah. But you've got this bar where you say, if I ain't top 5 because I ain't been in the charts, what's the rest of it?
If I ain't top 5 because I ain't been in the charts, and I guess bro ain't rob guys because he stained them with a mask.
See what I mean?
Yeah.
Where do you get the confidence to call yourself top 5 so early in your career when people would say, what's he done yet? Why should he be top 5?
I think, you know, especially rappers, you got to start as you mean to go on. Do you get what I'm saying? And, you know, I very much have a lot of confidence in my own ability, in my music. And if I didn't know someone and I heard like a talking like that, I'd be like, who is this? So I'm listening now. Do you get it? I'm like, who is this guy? Alright, cool, you're saying this, but who are you? Like, who do you think you are?
So would you say you're attention seeking a lot? Attention seeking a bit then by saying
I mean, I wouldn't say attention seeking because I mean, at the end of the day, rapping like it's
provoking.
Like, that is what rap is. I mean, if we're gonna go down that route, then every rapper is attention seeker. Do you get what I'm saying? Yeah. So like, if that's what you want to call it, then so be it, innit? But
top 5.
Yeah, but I mean, if you listen to if man listen to that song, you can't tell me that like it's not what it is. Do you understand what I mean? And like, I'll, as a rapper, as a musician, I will stand on that and I'll defend that in any room, you know? So that's just my mentality going forward.
All right, well, putting currency in, you know, trends and challenges is one thing. Yeah. But like bucking the waves, a lot of rappers that come out over the last few years, they might not feel like they're a drill rapper, but they're going with the sound because it's what's in. Right. So how do you, as a fairly new artist as well, still emerging, buck those trends? Because you ain't jumped on the drill thing yet. No. I don't know if that's been conscious or whether, I don't know if it's to come or you're planning on doing it or whatever. But how do you go against the current trends knowing that it could cost you your popularity?
I think it's a long term, innit? It's just about longevity. I think it could cost you popularity in the short term. I don't think it'll cost you popularity in the long term. And I think most people, they don't think long term, innit? It's like I said, innit? Like, I've been making music since I was 16. Obviously, people, like, on paper, 2 years. But for me, it's longer, right? I could have given up after 6 months. Some guys have a tune, TikTok, the first song, it doesn't go off. And they give up and say, and then they just give up. Do you get it? I think when you have your own sound and you build that, regardless of how long it takes, and the ups and downs or whatever, if you're independent or not, when you get there now, that's there.
Strong.
It's strong. It can't be wavered, in it, and that's your sound, regardless of what's happening with the trends and that blah blah. That's you. You're there. That's rock solid. And like I said, in it, there's a potential now for that to become the trend. You become the trend, just you. So then you can't fail.
So waves, trends, popularity, they try and dictate it. When I say they, whether it's the labels or like the managers or the digital streaming platforms, there's a lot of currency in the numbers which are very visible nowadays. You can see it like on your Spotify, your YouTube, whereas before it used to be just record sales. You'd have to be in the industry. Now you can see the numbers, a consumer can see the numbers. How much of a correlation do you feel like there is between songs with big numbers and how good an actual song is?
There can be a correlation. Like sometimes there's ones that are undeniable. Because like, I wouldn't say like every song that has bare numbers is like not good quality music, because that's just a lie, innit? I feel like it just depends, innit? Because sometimes it can be, sometimes it can't be. Like I said, innit, music is mad simple, but the industry and everything else around it has just made it so complicated. So there's so many like factors that can change or like get in the way of just a good song being a good song and being popular or not. Or, do you get it? There's just a lot of things. So it's kind of dependent on the song, really, if that makes sense. What
about like for you, like you might have a song that's not got too much of high numbers on Spotify, but people say that song's not that good because it ain't got big numbers.
Well, I mean, if in that case, then that's a bit silly, innit? To say a song's not good because they ain't got big numbers. I don't think quality is ever defined by popularity, like I'm saying, innit? Like, that's because, you know, everyone starts somewhere, whether you have 100k streams, million streams, or one stream. Like, your favorite artist started off with no numbers, everyone, but now where they are, you say they're incredible, amazing. So I feel like if someone's saying, oh, that's not good because it has no numbers, I've personally never met someone who said that, innit? So if someone said that, it's a bit worrying.
Yeah, it's
but
mad.
I can't. Yeah,
you got to think about where their heads at. You know what I'm saying?
In the gutter.
You got this song like Regardless,
Yeah,
and people think that it's Giveon on the chorus, but it's you singing.
Yeah.
And I remember on like In the House, you got 13 was winning girls over by singing Usher's Climax. So I mean, you get a bit vocalistic with it. Yeah, you sing.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, you sing. Are you gonna be getting that more out there with the singing and that?
Possibly, innit? Like with that project as well, Lost in Translation. The plan wasn't to do any vocals in it. I wanted to just keep it rap, straight rap, innit? But I got to the point where I was like, it felt right, and I was like, the best way that I can communicate what I'm saying, whatever form that takes, is how I'm gonna do it. If that means me singing, if that means me doing this or that, whatever it is, yeah. And at that point, it was the vocals in it, so I was like, let me go with it, innit? I was a little bit like, I won't say shook. Actually, no, I will say shook. I was a bit shook, innit? Because obviously, like, you know, rapper, blah blah blah. It's a bit cliche, innit?
I mean,
like,
Kanye does it, Drizzy does it,
yeah,
Cole does
exactly. They do, innit? But you know, to take that step is a bit. Yeah, but I'll admit I was being a little bit of a shookhead, innit? But then when I did it, and then everyone's, you know, kind of going a bit mad, I was like, cool. I guess I was just being a bit of a wassio.
But we got there.
We got there, innit? We got there.
I want to talk to you about like being so young. Like you're 20 now. You've been doing this thing for a few years. Yeah. Not everyone's a teenage rapper that's putting out music and, you know, getting some infamy in the ends and that, man. What is it like for you, man? Like, you know, the status rises, more girls, more eyes on you. You know what I mean? People throwing deals at you, money, everything. You know what I'm saying? Some people might say you're a sweet boy. You know what I mean? How do you navigate through that, man? How do you get through that in your position, man?
Yeah, I try just to block out, innit? Like I try my best to just forget. Like the way I operate and how I still make music and how I just moved in life is like just move the same way I would have done like 3 years ago or 2 years ago or even last year or whatever. Do you get it? Because if you let that, obviously you have to move different. You have to adapt to your situations. So obviously I can't do certain things that I could have done then or whatever. Do you know what I'm saying? But in terms of like just like principally and everything, like I try to block out a bit, innit? Because if you let it get to your head and that and change who you are, that's when you start rubbing out, innit? And obviously that's not in the plans.
How is it dealing with the added attention from the women, from the ladies? Because there's a lot of artists that can't handle that. It gets very out of control for them. It takes their focus away from the music. They really divulge into that life. They start acting in like a different character. How you deal with that?
I think like guys who act differently when they get bare female attention, it's like well, one, it's kind of obvious that clearly wasn't there before, right? So that's the inclination, innit? And then two, if you like, I've always had the mentality like, cause obviously like my career and what I'm doing and my music and everything, that comes first before anything. Do you know what I'm saying? Obviously family is the first, but obviously after that is music, innit, right? I would be just so like, and especially the fact that, you know, this music thing, like doing well, succeeding, whatever you value that metric as anyways, is 1 in a million, especially for guys where I'm from, innit? So for me to have somewhat of a glimpse of that and throw it away for like what, one night is like, or even if it's more than that, but do you understand what I'm saying? Like silliness is just a bit like, so yeah, I try my best. Obviously you have your moments, every man has a moment in it, but I try my best to like ignore it or not let it like change me or get to me or like gas me up or think I'm someone I'm not or think I'm someone that I am. You get it?
Again, we're talking about like dealing with the music industry, like entertainment, like raising in status and that. I mean, addiction is a big thing as well.
Yeah.
You kind of spoke about something off mic. Hopefully you don't think I'm overstepping the line, but I think in your music, you was a wake and bake guy. You used to smoke a lot, right?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And you said that you joked about having problems with your memory and that, man.
Yes,
How did you deal with that? How did you get over that, man? Because, you know, the wake and bake thing, smoking every day and that. How did you get through that, man?
Yes, I've been sober for 2 months still. I ain't smoked for 2 months. From now, innit? Obviously, I used to smoke better when I was a teenager. It's environmental and that, but I think like, especially when things started picking up, like recently I've been very like trying to be mad mindful of like, because these things affect you when you get further on. Even like this year, especially you're having shows now. You're coming to the shows, like you said. There's girls there. They got riders for you. It's just free yak. All the mandems yakking, blah blah blah. Everyone's smoking, blah blah blah. And it's like, if you don't, for me, I'm trying to pattern it now, because when you're further on now, it's just
be out of control,
thrown at you, and you don't have to handle it, innit? So yeah, I was definitely addicted to weed, but you know, I'm trying to, like, obviously I've cut that out now. Hopefully stays that way. I'm just trying to like pattern my health now, so that when it comes in extreme excess, which it will, I could be more prepared for that and deal with it better. And I'm not saying I'm like some mad stoic and I'm never gonna drink or I'm never gonna do that, because obviously man on man, innit? But you know, it just puts you in a better position, innit? I'd rather be more prepared than like less.
Straight up.
Do you get it?
I mean, I'm not a smoker. I've never been a smoker, and there's far worse addictions that you could have than smoking, man. So like, maybe don't be too hard on yourself still, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, of course. But it's like I said, like, I take it mad serious, innit? Like I'm definitely, that's one of my problems as well. I'm definitely an overthinker. But I mean, sometimes it benefits me, innit? But like, I know that what I have is special, and I know that not everyone gets a chance at this. So I'm just trying my best to like honor that, and like be like, cool, like let me not do this, because I've seen guys, I know guys, and I've seen guys rub out for less. It happens all the time, more than people think. So
crazy,
yeah. So it's like, do you get it?
Straight up. Well, let's get back to these lines, man. You got this line where you say they want features, but they won't ask me. Like, that's the clean version. In the house, is what you said that, man. I mean, expand on this, man. Like, cause I feel like you don't, like, you produce a lot for yourself. You do the most of your production, but you don't share your production with like other people. And I don't feel like there's much features in your music as well.
Not much.
So what's that mind state? Are you like part of the Get Along gang, or are you a lone wolf in this music industry?
I wouldn't put myself in either of those brackets, really. I feel like, I think, well, for me, my thing is like, I focus a lot on like leverage in it. So I'm not gonna. I'm very, like I said, I'm very specific on the quality of music in it. So obviously, like, I don't have a feature fee. Like, you can't pay me for a feature, basically. Like, if from when people have asked, like, it doesn't exist. So if I don't respect the song or think it's good, I'm not gonna do it regardless of how much money you throw at me. Do you get what I'm saying? That's just how I operate with it, innit? So I think if it makes sense, I will do it, and if I like it, I will do it. I'm not like anti-feature. I'm not like one of the guys that's like, oh, everyone, blah blah blah. That's not the case, innit? But just up until this point, I've been so focused on myself and building my thing by myself, and so that I'm not reliant on these things now to give me currency. That's where I've been at, to get it. But it's definitely something that like I'm trying to expand on in the future. But obviously, I'll just be specific with it and make sure it makes sense and everything.
And the labels have been throwing some money at you, man, some 6 figures and that, you know what I'm saying? You're still independent. I mean, are you anti-record label, major label deal? You see yourself staying independent? Like, how's it going, man?
Yeah, for me, right now, it's not in the plans, just because, you know, I've come this far independently, and there's still like there's still leaps and bounds to go. So for me, it wouldn't even make sense, because if you look at someone like Central C, right? Obviously, I've been on this from before. He was like, but if you look at someone like Central C as a big example of this strategy, right? He was independent for how long? made all this buzz like just off of being independent, innit? And then now he's in a position where he's just signed a deal for stupid crazy money now, 25 million or something, 50-50 as a label deal. Like that's a lick. Like, he's done it. Do you get what I'm saying? So if you look at that now, that's the formula. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Is staying independent for now strictly down to finances for you, or for some other reason?
It's everything in it. Finances is one of them, because obviously for me, it would get an 80-20, because most labels is 80-20 in it. Right now, so
they take 80, they give you 20%.
Yeah, it don't make sense. But it's also controlling. Like I like to have full control of what I'm doing. I don't want anyone to tell me what I can or can't release. But once you have enough leverage and you're in a label deal, that doesn't apply to you, because you are who you are. Like,
and you're signing away your masters and your publishing as well.
Yeah. But like, where certain guys are now, if they were independent and they've done that and now they're in a label, you think they can tell them do this? They'll be like, who are you? Like, I'm me. Do you get it? Kind of thing. So I'm not saying that is what I'm gonna do, because I might just say, you know what, let me just be independent for my whole life and do something like unheard of. But we'll see in it, I guess. Like I'm not completely opposed to it later down the line, but it's just something that we'll just have to see what happens in it.
What does success for Prof look like in the next 5 years?
I think I don't like to put like a limit or like a cap or on where I can or will be in it, because I feel like when I quantify it, it's like then I'm setting a bar in it. It's just like when I get there now, I'm like, what's left? Do you get it? And I feel like that's what happens with some, man, not just in music but just in life, innit? So for me, it's limitless. Like, I just think in the next 5 years, like, I'm in the mindset like I can't even fathom how far I will take it. If that makes sense.
Great.
So if that's answering just unfathomable success, like, that sounds a bit mad, but like,
high levels, yeah.
Yeah, man, like 100%. Like, that's, like I said, you have to start as you mean to go on, in it. Like that's what I see. And yeah, I'm confident that, you know, we'll get there.
I didn't ask you this at the beginning of the conversation, but I'm going to ask you it now anyway. What type of artist would you say Prof is, man?
Prof is an interesting bloke still. He's a you know, so yeah, he's a hip hop artist, rapper, producer. I guess you can say vocalist as well.
What type of rapper is Prof?
Honest one. He tries to be honest one. Most rappers probably aren't, right?
Wow, man.
But he tries to be. Do you get what I'm saying? Because he tries his best. And I think that's the most you can do in it. Like, as an artist, whoever you are in it, like, if you have a principle, just try your best to do that. That's all you can do. There's not much more you can do than that. And that's just what I try to do in it.
You think Prof is ever a rapper that will make people dance?
Yeah, for sure. I've made people dance still. I made myself dance. So that's enough for me.
Would Prof ever be a rapper that makes sing-along lyrics?
Yeah. I think being a good rapper or great rapper, you got to do it all, innit? Like, because like, if you look at someone, for example, like Jay-Z, right, who a lot of people like view as like the greatest of all time, yeah. Like, lyrically, can't touch him, but he's got bangers, innit? Like, you need, I think personally, the way I quantify like being a great rapper and the tops, yeah, you need to do it all. Do you get me? Like, you need to have those ones where you are making people dance and singing along. You might be even saying something deeper underneath it. Like, look at Kanye, like All Falls Down and something, as a big example. Huge song, everyone knows that song, but what he's saying is some real. Do you get it? So
is storytelling a big part of Prof, would you say, for people that don't know?
Yeah, for sure. And every song I write, I try to tell a story. And obviously that doesn't mean I'm saying like, oh, I went to the shop and this happened. No, like, but like as in a story within what I'm saying, like what am I talking about? What do I mean to say? Blah blah blah. Cause that's how people understand you, know you, they connect with you, such and such.
When Prof writes his raps and starts making like a track, does he think this is for the ladies, this is for the guys? Do you cater more for ladies? Do you cater more for guys? What is it, man? Are you trying to be the hardest rapper Because you know certain rappers want to be the hardest, and if they're not considered as one of the hardest, they really feel some type of way.
Hardest, like what like
raw, rugged,
the rap, like where like all the man them are like, this is our guy.
Yeah.
The way I look at it is like, I just do me in it, and I think when you try and do something too much, you're kind of you're slightly not rubbing yourself out, but do you get what I'm saying? Like, I've been doing me from day dot, right? Mm-hmm. And if now that me doing that, the man them I'm seeing in the streets now telling me I'm the hardest, like, cool. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, I hear that. And then if a female's not saying, oh my God, blah, 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 I'm like, cool. So I just think, I look at it more as on a musical level, innit? I would probably say I'm more of a musician than a rapper. That's not even like knocking rapping anyways, because obviously that's the core, that's where it's come from. That's what I grew up on. Like you said, raw, rugged, street, blah, 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 right? So I will never neglect that, because it is obviously a part of the identity, innit? But I don't think you have to let that define you or let it cap you. And I just want to make the best music in it, whatever form that takes. So sometimes you will have this and that, blah, blah, blah. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah. I mean, you've been having a great time. I feel like you've been making a steady impact over these last couple of years as you've been ascending. What would you say has been the biggest challenge you trying to make your impact as a new artist coming into this UK rap game?
Trying to stick to the plan. That's the biggest challenge, I would say. Because you can say you're gonna do this and that and that and that, but then when you're actually in a position now, it's a lot harder to stick to your guns. Like you said, for example, when people are throwing money at you, or when you're seeing, you're putting in work and you're seeing this just go from there to there. You just have to realize what it all is at the end of the day. You have to think of it in the big picture, like about the long game, what's gonna happen.
Don't get distracted.
That's the biggest, just distractions. I'd say distractions in all forms. That's probably the biggest challenge, isn't it? Just getting distracted.
Listen, man, we've had a great conversation today, man. Sure. They say my interviews are hotter.
Yeah.
South London, Croydon, Prof. The future's very bright, man.
Thank you.
You get me?
Appreciate that, bro.
SK Vibemaker.